Un, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, seis, siete.
In 1, 2, I loved the way they synced the counting to all the different movements, like a continuous beat, and the way it synced with not only their steps but the machines and the scene changes, the shot changes, and the constant like voice and like how it would go in and out. I really loved how fluid it is, and because it all syncs so wonderfully, the whole thing flowed and it felt like one continuous movement or dance. I also really loved the more still moments at the end where they're all posing for the camera, and it felt choreographed in a way that fit with the beginning of the film.
It's quite interesting that this dance film showed different groups of people throughout Spain, I think. Either way, it showed different groups of people, and it was all set how they were dancing. Everything was set to the same rhythm of counting. It was the same beat, and at the beginning they were counting in Spanish and French and I don't know the other language. They were counting in 3 or 4 different languages, but you could tell that's what they were doing, was counting. And before they started dancing, and then it showed every group of people dancing, or individual dancers, going 1 2 3 1 2 3, counting over and over, and they were all dancing to the same rhythm, but all the dances were a little different, and it kind of showed the diverse culture throughout this country, throughout this land, and the way different people moved showcased who they were and that group of people. It showcased their ages, their culture, their individualistic movements, and who they were as people. It shows how dance is so expressive to how each individual can move and who they are. It's really interesting that they all were just able to do this, and whoever put this together was brilliant by doing it just by counting and letting people show who they are by having it all to the same rhythm, by having each dance slightly different, so that it really showcases the culture of this land.
1, 2. So I wasn't really sure who these people were or why we were watching this. So I would have liked to have seen more of a setup and heard more what this was about. But I feel like if it wasn't in the beginning, maybe at the end when you showed the people and the groups and the one girl by herself, like who they were and what they were doing this for me, it felt like, showing people in their normal environments. At first, it felt like just the rhythm of life. I just thought it was unique and creative and interesting, and the lighting was good. Really nice close-ups on the hands, holding hands, and the feet and the faces. I wrote down life in beats. That's kind of what it felt like. But I just wish I would have had a little more idea from the get-go, or at least at the end, what the main purpose was. I don't know if it was something we were just supposed to take away ourselves and figure out ourselves, and kind of like poetry, everybody has their own idea of what something might be. So in that way, it was very artful. So best of luck to you guys.
This was a really nice collection of a number of slices of life, I suppose, from these communities of people and their exploration and dance. All of it, was edited together really well in a way that was cohesive and just made it easy to digest and sit back, relax, and enjoy it, because it was a nice, delightful piece to watch.